Homo sensorium, Mexican telenovela and film superstar, charmer of everyone, loving boyfriend and friend. He is Lito Rodriguez. Today, we'll analyze Lito as a TV character to assert if he's a quality LGBTQ+ portrayal or simply a fraudulent role. Let's find out in Queerbait or Good Rep. Hey, my name is Jem. To analyze Lito, we're gonna be using the Beetle-Russo test that sets some points for good LGBTQ+ representation. And because 2016 happened, I added a bonus point to it. Because LGBTQ+ fans deserve better. Now the goal here is not to simply discourage everyone about their favorite characters, but to bring awareness to writers, producers, and creators, since I'm one of them, on how important it is for us, the LGBTQ+ fans, to have good representation and how easy it can be. Number 1. The character is identifiably LGBTQIA+. Yes, he's your typical charming but very manly Mexican actor. But on episode 2 of season 1, after he's done with the red carpet and with his date, Danny Velasquez, he goes into his house, crawls into his bed, and oh boy, there's someone in there. Can you guess who? Yep, a beautiful man called Hernando, and they share a lovely kiss. Through the season, we learn that they have been in a very loving relationship for a while, making him MLM. So yeah, he's pretty LGBTQIA+. Number 2. The character is not solely or predominantly defined by their sexual orientation or gender identity. Yes. To be honest, I was a little bit torn with this one because his sexual orientation is brought up and centered quite a lot, but it mostly is related to the possible sabotage of his acting career. We all know how the industry sadly works. And not to be bitter, but in Mexico and Latin America in general, it is way worse. You basically cannot be out as an actor if you want to get the good roles. So he does go through the whole being very closeted and thrown out of the closet arc, but I don't think he's defined by his sexual orientation per se. I think he's more defined by his struggle to reconcile who he is with his dream, which is acting, in a world that isn't letting him. So I really think this was a topic that needed to be discussed, especially in a Latin America setting. And he does have other arcs with the other sensates and characters. So number 3, the LGBTQ+ character is tied into the plot in such a way that their removal will have a significant effect. Yes, he's part of the main characters, and since he's an actor, he's incredible at lying and manipulating people, so he's quite important for the dynamics of his cluster and their different story arcs. So we can safely say he's all wrapped up within the plot of the series. Now, the bonus point that I added. Number 4. The LGBTQ+ character doesn't fall under any harmful trope. Yes. I was a little bit torn with this one too, because he seemingly does fall under some tropes at times, but he always subverts them eventually. And maybe that's because 2 of the creators are LGBTQ+ themselves. You may know them as the Wachowskis, and they wanted to show us how it can be done. If you must have the dramatic Mexican gay actor, you might as well subvert the tropes. Verdict: I am speechless. Lito is indeed the LGBTQ+ representation of our dreams. He proves that it is possible to have good and believable Latinx LGBTQ+ portrayals in media. His sole existence sets the bar where it should be for LGBTQ+ characters of color and their stories. It's 2018 indeed, and it is time for us to get the representation that we deserve. As Sense8 proved it, it only takes empathy to realize we all are human beings, and as cis-het white characters and stories, LGBTQ+ POC stories deserve to be told without the shadow of harmful tropes. Easy fix. Well, this is one of the few times where no easy fix is needed. But let me tell you about some of the harmful and very common tropes that Lito seemingly fell under but subverted at the end, thanks to the Sense8 creators. Armored closet gay. He's the manliest macho man to ever live. He might even be homophobic to prove how straight he is, but when night falls you will find him laying beside a man. Lito is slightly like this at the beginning because of his hero macho characters and because the Mexican industry require him to be, but he seriously subverts them when he's at home and comfortable enough with the people around him. He's quite dramatic, and maybe that's because he's an actor, and not macho at all. And when he finally owns it after being outed, he's quite free in his gay self. Forced out of the closet usually is the action of someone who inadvertently or purposefully forcefully out someone else. This time it was good old blackmail and overall jerkassery. It's not a harmful trope per se when it's done right, because sadly it's something that still happens a lot to this day, but people should understand that it's wrong to do. And in Lito's case, it was done in a way that let everyone else know why it's so wrong to out people, and illustrates why he was so closeted to begin with. Everything that he feared will happen to his acting career did happen. It eventually had a twist, but it took a while, and it took for him to move out from the Mexican film industry. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, share it with your fandom friends, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Please consider becoming a Patreon or donating to my PayPal so I can keep doing this type of analysis. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave your very own fix if you believe Lito needs one, or just tell me what you think about him. So maybe some writer or producer who was thinking of lazily writing a Latinx MLM character with any harmful trope can understand why it matters to have good and believable Latinx LGBTQ+ portrayals, and can come up with much better fates for them.